What's the deal, everybody? This is the Riot World Podcast, very first episode. My name is Ghost, and it's only right that we do our very first interview with a very special guest.
It's your boy Mason, man.
What's the deal, bro?
Just chilling, man. Another day, another dollar. Late night grinding.
Oh yeah, what was you up to today?
Today just vibed out. Um, work at a 9 to 5, so I work my 9 to 5 just like a normal person while chasing my dream. So after that, linked up with the bros and we hit the studio, and that's where we at right now.
Okay, so let's get into it a little bit. So, your dreams. You say you work a 9 to 5, and you have, other dreams. What are some of your other dreams?
Mainly it's just ownership. I would say is just kind of an aspiration of myself. Just trying to have ownership in everything that I want.
Yeah, but what's your craft?
Music, man. I
Music.
would say that the first and foremost, and then you know whatever comes with that, branding myself, and T-shirts, and eventually owning fucking restaurants and shit down the road.
Yeah.
Inspired by Nip. It's not just fucking music. You gotta push the shit to another level. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do with this music shit.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that. And I definitely feel like, when you're looking at a craft like music, you have to look into the long haul, right? So I
Yeah.
do feel you when you talk about restaurants, when you talk about, getting into different enterprises, things like that. But when let's dial it back a little bit. So
Yeah.
when you're talking about music, okay, so you make hip hop music,
Yeah.
okay. So what do you feel like is your biggest acclaim when it comes to making music?
Um, you said my biggest what?
Acclaim, or like just say accomplishment for yourself.
I would say so far, I would say it would be a sold out show that we've done. Um, would be we are on that Never Had Shit tour where we contributed in selling out that tour with people that came to see us,
Hmm.
and as well as the show we did with Cause out here, which is a while back, but
Yeah,
um,
cause from Dreamville, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So those two artists, which we worked with, essentially, doing a show with, and selling tickets to contribute towards their, the venue, and we helped sell out those venues, and I feel like we got much more to prove, and I have much more to accomplish than just helping somebody else sell out tickets, and I feel like with this music shit, there's much more that we can make move.
Mhm.
Well, in myself.
Okay. Okay. So now let's get into Mesa the person.
Yeah.
Okay. So how where are you from? You're from Phoenix, Arizona.
hmm Yeah, I'm from the west side of Phoenix. My family grew up in Maryville. I was raised on 83rd and Camelback, in which, I come from a broken home, so my parents were divorced at a young age.
Mhm.
And essentially, I was back and forth between homes. My dad moved to Mesa to be away from my mom, which, wasn't great at the time. So we moved to Mesa for a minute, and I lived for Mesa for like 6 to 7 years of my life.
Okay.
And then,
So real quick, so like one thing about Mesa that I do know, like the area
yeah,
of like Phoenix, it's a little bit different from Phoenix,
yeah.
and it is different from the West Side. It is still,
hmm
very I would say like hectic at times.
Yeah.
And it's a little underdeveloped. It's like in between like a nice area and then another nice area, and then in between you got Mesa.
Yeah, so like Mesa, people get this perspective that it's like I'd say like a Mormon town.
Mm.
It's mostly dominant whites and Mormons to say, but don't get it fucked up. They got people out there that are still able to make shit and get in trouble and do everything that people out here in Phoenix do. I've seen both sides, and mainly I moved back to Phoenix. After 6 7 years, I'd say once I was a sophomore, and then when I moved back, everybody from Phoenix just started calling me Mesa. They were just like, "Where'd you go to school? Like, where'd you from?" And
Yeah.
coincidentally, I went to this school called Mesa High, which was the city's high school, and everybody just started calling me Mesa. And it started with really in sports. I was playing sports, and the coaches started calling me Mesa.
So that's how you got your name, Mesa.
Yeah, and then that carried over to fucking the streets. Basically, everybody that I was kicking with it on the west side was like, "Yo, Mesa, Mesa," and essentially that's I'm believing that it's not where you're from, it's where you at. Just like Tupac says, because like when I was in Mesa, I was like I was in Mesa. I was like, I'm from Mesa. But
Yeah.
then when I moved back to Phoenix, I was born in Phoenix. I was raised in Maryville till I was like 10. And then
Okay.
I moved when I was 10 to Mesa until I was a sophomore, and then I moved back to the West Side. So
Okay.
people get that confused. Like, how the fuck are you from West Side Phoenix, but your name's Mesa? I'm like, well, nigga, my mama was a West Side Chicana, nigga. Don't get that fucked up.
Okay. 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 So, were you rapping in high school?
Yeah. So like, I did sports primarily, but after a while, I would always go to parties just like anybody else.
What? Hold on. So, what sports did you play?
Well, I played football up until like my freshman year, and then I didn't play after that. And I wrestled also. Like I wrestled and boxed. So like
You
I was
wrestled and boxed.
yeah. So I was in like I guess
So you
martial
was
arts.
throwing hands.
Yeah, I could throw hands, nigga.
Okay. You did. You ever like do actual like you? So you did matches and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I wrestled like fucking.
You got a record
I mean, yeah.
that you got in mind? What's your record?
I would. Well, I wasn't the greatest, but I was nice. I was.
But that's
like,
okay because
I was probably like fucking honestly like 36-4.
Okay. See, but that you don't have to be the greatest. People, I feel like people don't understand that you don't have to be the greatest in everything you do.
It was like 36-4.
I mean, shit, that's 36 wins though,
Yeah.
and 4 losses. I mean, how big do you feel like those losses impact each win?
I wouldn't even to be blunt with you. They weren't losses. They were lessons because that was just something that you took from that match that was a failure that you used to accomplish your next goal towards the next match. So that was just essentially what I did, and that was how I potentially was able to get to 36 instead of the opposite, vice versa, where it was 4 and 36. So
Yeah.
it was, I did what I could.
Okay. All right, and and you play any other sports?
I mean, when I was in a freshman, I wanted to be on the basketball team. Well, when I was a freshman, I wanted to be on the basketball team originally. 'Cause I wrestled, but I was like, nah, maybe wrestling's not my thing. And I had a homie, his name was Desmond, and he played basketball. He was always like, yo, you should come play basketball. And I was always hooping. Like, I could hoop too. Like, honestly, any fucking sport I'm in, I'm fucking either average or I'm above average in anything I do, honestly. Just to be blunt.
You feel like that with the music as well?
Oh, I'm excellent in music. That's not me.
What are some of your favorite songs, or say like some of your favorite songs that have some of your favorite verses on them?
One would be Dollar, Closer to My Dreams.
Okay.
That song, I fucking, when people like say, hey, if you gonna die and you have a gun to your head, what's a song you can sing to save your life type shit? That's that song for me.
Right. Okay.
I know y'all felt that.
I felt that, but I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you though. What is some of your favorite songs from you and your favorite verses?
Oh, for myself?
Yeah.
Oh, Dollar, R.I.P. He's dead anyway.
Yeah, of course,
Like,
of course.
I'm not
Rest in peace,
promoting
Dollar.
anything crazy, but myself, I would say one of my favorite verses probably coming from my new project coming out soon, from the West Side with Love, the EP, and it's gonna be. It's a song called Manifest, and I'm currently working on a video with it with my homies, and yeah, we have 2 visuals done. It's a 4-song EP, and currently have 2 visuals done out of the 4 songs, and we're trying to get 4. And I'm just working on the cover art right now. So once that's locked in, then we're gonna fucking start aiming.
Right. Okay. So let's go back. Hold on. So let's go back to high school real quick. So you was, playing sports. You was wrestling, and then you said, I remember you saying that you started rapping in parties.
Yeah. So I would basically all the time, just like anybody else that went out. You always ended up at like house parties and shit, and just vibing with the homies. And that was kind of what we did. We were really big on smoking, chilling, vibing out, and everybody had something to say. And they used to call me a little backpack rapper because I would always like have a backpack. I was kind of like a little, like, not in that way, but
I ain't gonna lie though. Like thinking about it, you do always have a backpack.
Yeah.
Like where's your back? You got a backpack right now.
I don't know exactly where
Like you've always had a backpack.
Got this cookies bag right
That
here.
good cookies backpack. Ugh.
Shout out my man.
The
Brad,
first
man.
rapper to ever
Shout out my man.
have a
Brad,
cookies backpack.
man. But you know,
Okay.
keep some things on me.
But yeah, so you rapping in the house parties, and like, when did you start actually recording? Were you in high school yet, or was that outside of high school?
I actually started recording. I recorded like a little like song back in like 2012. That was like jokingly, but I actually got serious with it like probably like 3 or 4 years ago. That's when we actually like did our shows and.
That's when you.
know,
Because I
I
remember
dropped
you
a-
had a song. I remember you had a song,
had
a
little
couple of
mixtape
songs
that
out.
came out that I wasn't like too like serious about, but I was like, you know what, let's try and get serious with this shit now, and you know, life's coming at me fast.
What was that mixtape called?
It was called the Hallucination Tape.
Okay, the Hallucination Tape. How long ago did you put that out?
Probably like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
2 or 3 years ago.
Can you break down that concept for me, the Hallucination Tape?
It was basically just at a time where I felt like I was going through things where I was also fucking with psychedelics really heavy to believe it or not, but it was helping me find myself.
Psychedelics like mushrooms and
Yeah, like shrooms,
DMT and stuff like that, or
yeah, shrooms, DMT, acid.
Okay.
Fucking with some shit, you know. Some
it's
shit
like the
that's
Joe
gonna make you
Rogan
think.
experience.
A lot of people can't fuck with that shit because you know it does take
A toll.
a mental strength.
You feel like that took a mental toll on you?
Yeah.
Huh.
With fucking with some of that shit at that time, you know, I was doing a lot of psychedelics and, you know, with doing too much, you know, it's not too good. You know, it's good to do it every now and again to get to know yourself and, you know, reflect.
Uh-huh.
But it's not good to reflect and then you're reflecting too much and ultimately just you're staring at yourself too much.
Feel like you got a little too dark, like the thoughts start to get a little too dark,
Yeah,
too
like-
much at the time. Like you be kind of like,
Yeah, like,
because
you
I
eventually are like some bitch doing the makeup, and then you don't want to like you're just staring in the mirror. You're like, is my makeup straight? You know, and then you're questioning yourself type shit.
yeah.
Just to, you know, kind of compare it, you know? Like,
That's a crazy breakdown. For sure, crazy breakdown. But I feel you, you know, because I do, like, I've seen people that are, like, kind of, like, a little too affected by that type stuff. Like, they're, like, a little burnt out. I guess it's just with anything, though. Like, there's certain people that are just burnt out with smoking weed. There's people that burnt out that drink. There's people that burnt out that just, you know, do any type of vice or whatever and shit.
Yeah.
But that chapter, that dark, I guess, you know, happening in your life, that created the Hallucination Tape.
yeah.
And do you feel like, were you still going through that while creating the Hallucination Tape, or was it like kind of a reflection of that time?
It was both. I was like reflecting of times of where I was at with it, and I was also still kind of fucking with it while I was recording and doing the songs, which is why like some of the songs are very like, you know, vibrant songs. I'm talking about messages in that fucking mixtape, and you know, one of the songs basically was like John Hernandez was, you know, a big song that I dropped, and it was talking about when the cops had basically like sat on his neck before George Floyd and killed him, you know, type shit.
Yeah.
And you know, I had been making music about that before, you know, the George Floyd type shit, you know, and you know, R.I.P. to both those gentlemen, but you know, like there's definitely a message that needs to be spread, you know, throughout music, and when you have a platform, you definitely got to use it.
Okay. Okay. And so what's one of your favorite songs from that album?
My favorite one would be Elevate, of course. You know, it would just be like a time where I was just talking about where when we were low growing up, and you know, essentially we're just trying to elevate, and I'm talking about, you know, not just with just also, you know, I'm talking about smoking, but I'm also talking about life, you know, like it's time that we're trying to elevate, we're trying to get up.
Yeah, I remember that video, man. You shot it with Isaac Joel.
Yeah.
I think the studio at the time was Opus Vita Studios.
Yeah.
That was a dope ass video. I remember because it was like a real concept. That was like, I don't know. I just felt like it was different from a lot of videos that I seen. It was like on a very high level video with a very high level type song.
Yeah.
And it was very raw still. I don't know. I think that time was very special. I know it's very near and dear to your heart. It's definitely a time that I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I remember, dude, I was the engineer for that album. So like I remember recording all those songs for you, and or with you, and man, like just the growth as to where you were then and then to what I see you creating now with this new mixtape. What is that called again?
From the West Side with Love EP.
Okay. From the West Side with Love. Break that down actually for me real quick. I think that's interesting.
Essentially, it was honestly just I'm from the West Side of Phoenix, so like I was just like, what kind of the title, and growing up, I've heard like oldies music,
Mhm.
and seen like had oldies music, and there's oldie songs that are like from the West Side of Love, and West Side Story and things like that. So I was just like, what can I do to kind of be catchy? And I was just like, let me just from the West Side with Love.
Love.
And
Okay.
not only that, it was also inspired by Dom Kennedy as well. Because,
Okay. Yeah. He has an album called West Side with Love,
yeah,
right?
he has a project. He has
Project.
two EPs, or sorry, mixtapes that are from the West Side with Love. But
Okay.
not to say that it's anything compared to that, but it's I have my own story to say.
You know what I
From.
think of when I hear that is I think of a movie called From Paris with Love. It got John Travolta. He bald in that movie, and he's sliding through in Paris, and he be like bro. It was like they was trying to figure out who John Wick was. He was sliding through.
Slide.
Sliding. Actually,
In the DMs
speaking
too.
of
I mean,
slide,
that
hey,
motherfucker.
no, for real. Speaking of slide. Oh my god. Speaking of sliding though, hey look, speaking of sliding though, remember that video that you shot? What was that upcoming song? We just shot a video. You had the you know what I'm saying, that thing in it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I just shot a music video too. It's called "Straight Like That," and it's actually
That's right.
It's actually a song that's on my new up and coming EP again from the West Side with Love. That will be dropping soon, man. I don't have a date for you guys yet. I'm still working on that with getting the cover art again done, and once that's done, then man, we're gonna pull the trigger. But you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. I think everybody could feel that when it comes to just standing your ground and being who you are. I think that's a big part of music in itself,
Yeah.
is just being who you are and like really, just confronting, like I don't know, it's like a rebellious to the system. I think that's what Riot for Peace does stand for too, but I think I was talking to our boy, and he was saying like I feel like everybody takes it and has their own meaning to it as well. So it's
Yeah.
very special to people. So I mean, we gotta start, cranking out some more merch for that too.
Have some. That's actually a goal. I'm also with the EP dropping. Could have some shirts and stuff related to that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, just waiting to see what this cover art's gonna look like. I have my man Leo working on that. Shout out to my man Leo.
He did the first cover art for
Yeah, he did my
the
cover
Hallucination
art
Tape.
for the Hallucination Tape. He's actually done a few projects for us in general, and he's actually really good. Y'all can tap in with him. If y'all looking for somebody to do your cover art, hit me up, man. We'll get you locked in with Leo, man. He's great at what he does.
Hell yeah. All right, and then I remember we were also talking about your music video for Straight Like That. Now, was that a conscious decision to make a music video for a song that's been out for a while now?
Yeah. So like, it was actually a song I felt like it was really good, and I really felt like it didn't get the push that it needed, and you know, I've been dealing with a lot of procrastination with doing music, and that's something that as artists we kind of all go through. You get in this mental state where you think everything has to be perfect, or you relate yourself to somebody else or somebody's art to your art, and it kind of throws you off and where you're trying to be, and it kind of can sway you away from where you're trying to get, and that kind of is what happened to me, and eventually I kind of overcame that, and now I'm here to just say that my confidence is above 10, and I'm ready to show what I have, and it's all on the platter. I feel like I can go against the best of them.
I mean, honestly, I've been hearing a lot of the music you've been recording recently,
Mhm.
and it's a lot more than just the 4-song EP.
Yeah.
I mean, you got stuff working with other artists. You
Yeah.
have other videos coming out.
Yeah, I've been working with the homie Cash, New Hippie. I've been working with you. I've been working with the homie Westside Prophet, the boy Kenyatta as well. Just staying locked in, trying to get as much songs. Networking with other artists. If there's other artists out here in Arizona that, I'm gonna be blunt with you. I don't work with everybody. I don't want motherfuckers that are trying to sound like Uzi Vert, trying to work with me. Just saying, I will work with Uzi Vert. I love Uzi Vert. He's great. But I'm just saying, I want motherfuckers that are actually like trying to come with shit,
With more
deliver.
original content.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and more my style, and I won't be afraid to let you know that bluntly. So a lot of people kind of you will take that and run with it.
I feel that. I feel like you take that wrestler's mentality when it comes into rapping, because everything you know what I'm saying, because I feel like you just trying to like fuck some shit up, you know what I mean,
Hey,
like you like you know what I'm saying, but that's good. So what do you feel like the key, like if you could Suge Knight it, put him in a headlock, you gonna sign this deal?
You signed this motherfucker.
Nah, what would you say like the key to being consistent is? Because I know that consistency isn't just, oh, let me get up and do it, like, have consistent music videos. It costs money to make music videos. It takes time to shoot. It takes creativity to actually come up with a concept for a creative music video, and connections and resources. What do you think that, is a good method?
So I feel like being around whatever it is that you're inspired by in general, whether like you're fucking putting your hands on it, or for us, whether we're recording or it's the homie recording, we're in the studio. We're at least for myself, I'm surrounding myself more with it than ever. Even though I work a 9 to 5. After work I'm hitting up the homies to see what they're doing, if that's related to art, whether it's the homies like, oh, I'm gonna do a photo shoot, I'm gonna be over here, like, okay, well, hey, maybe I could be around him, he'll probably snap a fucking couple pictures that he can send to me, and I can throw him some bread, of course.
Yeah.
And also just come to just hit up Cash, see if he's at the studio tonight, and if I have something that I'm ready to lay down, or if I'm feeling confident enough to say, hey, I'm gonna put in the effort to fucking record something tonight, then I'll hit, go in the studio, and of course throw him bread for studio time. And there's a lot that goes into this fucking music shit, like you said, money for music videos, money for studio time, money for photos, money for everything. And people think that this music shit's just a fucking game, and that we just do it for fun, and that it's just it's easy. It's not, because if it was easy, everybody could do it, and that's why it's not so easy to be consistent, to say, because it takes a lot. It takes much more. Have you ever tried to write a fucking song, people? That shit takes time.
It does.
Writing a poem. It's like writing a fucking essay for your teacher to say. And a lot of people don't like writing essays, and a lot of people aren't good at writing in general. So, motherfuckers failed English. I didn't. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
He talking about somebody.
But I'm just saying, man. This shit ain't easy, and I'm not saying that it's not accomplishable. I know it is, because we're gonna get there.
I think it boils down to proper planning.
Yeah, you got to map it out. You got to write it out, work towards it, and that's a big part of what I talk about in my song called Manifest. That's on my new EP. It's talking about just manifesting shit. A lot of people don't really know about manifestation. They just kind of go through their days and kind of just wish that shit would happen for them. It's kind of like praying. You gotta pray it, and then you can't just pray to God that something's gonna happen. You gotta work towards it too. And ultimately the universe, God, whatever you believe in, will work in your favor, and things will fall in place.
I think that's powerful. Before we get into the next segment, I do want to shout out our very first sponsor, AZ Juice Life. You know what I'm saying? Make some noise for AZ Juice Life. Yeah. AZ Juice Life is a Arizona brand, and they sell sea moss water, different products. I know if you hit them up on the link description below, that they will even get you a custom package for any and all of your needs. And when I'm talking about needs, I'm talking about things about like probably some shit you would need when you get into your little wrestling matches. My boy was talking about that you drink one of these before you do wind sprints, and it's like a cheat code. It's not a pre-workout, but it's a cheat code. So You know, I might
Is
crack.
it Grand Theft Auto cheat codes and shit?
I might
like
crack
that?
one of these open if you
Where I
want
get
one of these.
unlimited weapons and shit.
So, so yeah, you probably do. Yeah, you probably
feel
would
me?
crack the code. You probably be flying through the sky.
Hey, when we was younger, you remember going to the fucking grocery store to have to go to the gaming fucking magazine, and people would try to steal, rip out the pages to get the codes and shit? Or is that too far before your time?
The gaming magazine.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I
Alright,
don't think I remember
That was
those.
like before niggas had access to the internet. We would all go to the fucking grocery store, and every grocery store had a gaming magazine. It was the biggest gaming magazine, but that shit cost too much. And of course, my family couldn't afford that shit. So what me and my little brother would do is we would go and grab that shit. We would go walk up and down the aisles, ripping the pages that we want out and putting them in our shirts.
Yes, sir.
And we'd go
Well,
home.
let's hope that you don't do that when you drink these wonderful Juice Life AZ waters.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They come in different flavors: cherry limeade, pineapple flavored, lemon lime, and plenty more.
Yep.
But don't steal from your local businesses, okay?
Yep. Do
You know what I'm
not.
saying? Support your
Do
local
not.
businesses
Yeah.
real quick. So
Don't
while we
do
talk
that.
about how you was, okay, so let's talk about how you was, you know what I'm saying, thugging it through 7-Eleven, snatching shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't cool. Don't tell the kids to do that.
Nah, y'all don't be
What
doing
what
that.
what flavor you want to try? You want to try some of this? Anybody want to try some of these?
I want to try
This was
one,
sent
hell
by
yeah.
this was sent by the big homie.
Go ahead, let's go. Oh, chug that motherfucker.
All right, let me hit
now.
I'm gonna hit
On
the cherry
ganging them.
limeade.
You don't have to hit the restaurant, boy. You gotta
All
be
right.
careful on the consumption.
Don't drink a lot of these. I don't know if these, you know what I mean. I think these will have some. Yeah, it's sea moss, so it's gonna get to cleansing. So I
Let
do.
it cleanse
He needs
in. Let it
cleansing.
cleanse.
You need Jesus.
I have Jesus.
All right, let's go. Here, pass one of these right here. Boom, and then you get the. And then I got this joint. And try this joint out real quick.
Fuck me, right?
Mm-hmm. Here, try this cherry limeade joint.
All the monkeypox
Yeah, I got-
and the COVID going around.
Oh yeah.
Ah, this guy.
Here, I got you. You know what I'm saying? We had another one.
I'm on that shit. All right, I don't give a fuck. I'm kidding. I'll hit it. I'm just joking.
Hey, I'm gonna need some more.
That's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, this shit tastes like pineapple juice, my boy.
This shit is like agua fresca de piña, no
A
cap.
fresca de pepina.
Arizona lime juice.
You gonna have to get you some.
Arizona juice.
Gas.
is it.
Make
This
sure
is-
y'all get some of this, man.
This is that
Tap in.
juice.
Ay,
Make healthy choices.
no sé, güey, pero es muy bien. Tómalo.
Love it.
Say hi to baby.
All right, let me see that. That was pretty good. All right, so shout him out. Go in the link below. Hit him up. Get your CMOS today if you're in the Phoenix, Arizona
Go hit
area.
him up.
And still hit
Yeah,
him up
money.
if, yeah, definitely still hit him up if you want delivery. I'm pretty sure he can work something out with y'all.
Yes, sir.
So, all right.
I just hit the Henny with the sea moss, you heard?
Dang, like
He said he's going to hit the
He
Henny
hit the Henny with the
CMOS.
CMOS.
I think that's counteractive, my boy.
I ain't healthy, you heard?
That's an instant detox, bro. Instant detox.
Instant detox.
Here you go, my boy.
He hit the
Right.
Henny with the CMOS.
Wow.
He catching plays like Randy Moss.
Catching plays like Randy Moss. All right, so we was talking about
Imagine
your
if I had
album
vocals.
before we got to the commercial.
Yeah.
So we was talking about the album, you know, and with this next album, what are some of the experiences that you feel like you've taken from your life recently and put it into the album?
You're talking about the project. It's not an album. It's an EP, but
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
So it's an EP. So how many songs is it?
it's 4
4 songs?
songs.
Okay. And then obviously, you know, I
I would
know
s-
you got more banger. I know you
Yeah.
got more music too.
Yeah, I would say what I took from it was big was my procrastination. I talk big on that, like on like wasting time and kind of like being real, and ultimately the inspire me is a loss in the family, and
We lost somebody. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about that real quick. I mean, just real quick. Rest in peace.
yeah, I lost my uncle, and then I also lost my godmother. After that, and it was just kind of like time to reflect, and it was like, man, people that I grew up with are going, so it's like, how much longer do I have?
Mhm.
And it's like it's time to like start making things that you want happen, you know. And that's
I mean, shit
ultimately
ain't
what I wanted
promised,
to-
homie. Like, ain't nothing promised.
Yeah,
Like, you know what
right.
I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, any moment, you know.
And
But
then also being in like a relationship too. I was in like a very long relationship, which was up and down.
Okay.
You know, had its ups, had its downs, and you know, just kind of stayed down after it was down for after a while, and then ultimately separated after a long term. You know.
it happens, you know. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through, you know
But-
what I'm saying, breakups.
But
and
now we out
divorce.
here, so Ratchets hit my line.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Out here,
He's
bro.
tripping. We on the podcast. Let's go. No, fuck it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Cheers.
Bang my shit.
What are you
Now-
sipping on, bro?
I'm sipping on. Don't worry about what's in my
He
cup,
hit,
Chuck.
he hit the henny with the
Don't worry about what's in my
Faygo.
cup. Worry about y'all. Worry about what's in your cup.
That Waukesha.
That's Waukesha. Nah, so all right. So this next segment, I do want to talk about a little bit about like some of your musical influences, things that definitely changed like your outlook on music. Like what was some of the first music that you heard?
Growing up,
Yeah, growing up.
the first ever music I heard growing up was R&B. Like hip hop was irrelevant.
Ooh, what was that? What songs are you talking about? What artists?
Like, well, that's why honestly I love R&B. I love R&B more than hip hop. And if I could sing, I would fucking sing. But I feel like I have a story to tell, just like singers, and I'm gonna say it. But growing up, I would listen to fucking New Edition, Michael Jackson, fucking Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, oldies, fucking
Marvin Gaye,
just
Sam
shit,
Cooke.
bro.
Okay.
Smokey Robinson, fucking Temptations, just shit, bro.
And what was like some of the first hip hop artists that you've heard?
Hip hop. Well, growing up, hip hop, I would say the first type of hip hop I was listening to was like NWA. My dad, that was his kind of era, and that's
Fuck
what,
the police
that's
coming
what he
straight
was-
from the
yeah,
underground.
That's what he was listening to, and not only that, like the radio would play too. So like growing up, when I think like really back to like when I was probably like 5,
Mhm.
I remember there's this fucking hip hop song. I guess it was fucking like kind of cool.
Mhm.
It was like Who
Oh.
Let the Dogs Out? Roof.
Yeah.
Roof. Yeah. I was like 5 years
Roof.
old and I liked that song like a motherfucker. I remember I was a kid.
Yeah.
That shit was hard. Yeah, I don't now. It's
Who
not
let the
so
dogs
hard.
out? Yeah.
It's not so hard now.
I mean, thinking about it though, like when we were kids, they had certain songs, like they let the
Yeah.
dogs out.
Feel
Who
me?
let them out?
Yeah.
They let us out,
Honestly.
dude.
But
Man, that's
just-
deep. Who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
It's like who came first, the chicken or the egg?
When you really think about
The
it,
bag or the
like,
bread?
Me. I came first,
God,
and then she had to leave.
damn. Yeah, no, that's crazy, for sure. Now,
Yeah, the joke, right?
yeah, no,
I
definitely.
be joking too much.
No, I'm trying to give my sense of humor right on here too. You know what I mean? Look, now a lot of the artists I heard you talking about,
Yeah.
a lot of the artists I heard you talking about were West Coast artists. You feel like you're like a West Coast artist type guy? Like, what's up?
No, I'm a Southwest artist.
Southwest artist? Not you personally, but like you like artists that are from the West Coast a little bit more.
Yeah, they
like-
cool.
Oh yeah, they cool. You got on a Raiders hat. That's all. The only reason I'm asking.
I love West Coast music. I got family that's out there in Richmond, North Cal area.
Mhm.
I have some homies that live in San Diego, LA area as well. But yeah, I love Cali. That's kind of a goal to live there. It's fucking expensive to live
Well, yeah,
there.
where do you want to live out there? LA,
No, I would want to live in North Cal.
North Cal, like
yeah, I wanna-
Oakland,
Yeah, like the Berkeley area for sure.
Berkeley area. What's that
Yeah.
like? Cause I've only been to like.
It's
Like,
beautiful. It's like fucking, it has its days, One day it could be fucking cloudy and beautiful over the Golden Gate Bridge, or one day it could be nice and sunny and you can go fucking, jump on a fucking one of those little paddle boats and be out in, the ocean chilling in the Bay Area. But, the Bay is itself, man. I've been there multiple times. Again, I have family, so I go out there and visit from time to time, and there's no place like the Bay, bro. It's its own vibe. They got their own lingo. They made up slang basically, bro. Just to be blunt, like they make up their
You
shit.
think so?
Yeah, bro, by far. You know,
Like what? Like that P in like
one well P that's one, but like one that's really big. It's like everybody and their mama says is like for sure.
that's the Bay?
That's all. That's all.
For
That's the
sure.
base
We've
for
been
sure.
texting that on the
Oh,
phone.
everybody and their mama says for
forever.
sure.
For sure. That's crazy. See, I didn't know that. What else? What else? What other slang they got?
Well, honestly, the master of that shit would be E40.
E40.
Yeah.
Man, E40 was a legend.
Yeah, he came up with all that. Not saying he came up with all of it, but he came up with the lingo.
Yeah.
And then of course you think West Coast too, cause you think Snoop Dogg too. He used to have his own lingo too. Snoop D double chisel, like having his own lingo. That shit's hard,
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Okay. Now, if you were to explain where your music would fit in, like if your music would fit into today's current climate, what would you say as a consumer?
I would be in like the element between like a cause and a JID. Kind of
JID goes crazy.
Yeah, there's times where I can go crazy when you want me to be fast and deliver that some shit. But there's also like that West Coast vibe, which is that cause where I have a story to tell, and it's kind of like more laid back.
So where do you see yourself going in the music industry?
I see us doing our own shit. I see us making some moves. Potentially having the ownership of our own rights, masters, to our music, and just fucking just blowing up. Getting the views that we want.
Like
selling
master
out.
goal, like master, like you want like the Grammy? Do you want the sales? Do
Yeah,
you want
I mean,
the...
for me, bluntly, I just want the money, bro. Like, I'm not in it for the fame. I don't want fame. I can give a fuck about it, But in order to get to where we want, you would need, your streams and your views and your things like that. And if that's
Do you feel like, not to cut you off, but do you feel like being an artist is something that brings the most money realistically? Like,
no,
I mean,
no,
as
not only that, no, not at all. Not
if you
at all.
wanted to chase money,
It's
you
a
probably would
passion.
do something else.
Yeah, I have a 9 to 5 to chase money. You know what I'm saying? But I also used to fucking do other shit. You know what I'm saying? That I no longer need to do. But
Of course.
now it's just trying to be right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've always had a story to tell and
Get your
again,
credit right.
Yeah,
Get
my shit together. You know, and that's one thing that I'm striving to do, and I'm trying to fucking just push this music. And I have a story I need to tell, and that's really what it is. And of course, when you're working with something, you have a goal and getting paid in what you do. Whether it's you drawing a painting, you eventually want to sell that painting so it can get sold for you to make a profit off what you did, because you put in time and effort, and that's what you want. That's the outcome of what you're doing. You're trying to get paid for what you do. Whether it's fucking you mowing a lawn, somebody's lawn, and you getting paid for the lawn that you did, or you working at 9 to 5 and getting paid at that 9 to 5. Whatever craft it is, you put in that time with it, and you want to get paid and see some results for it. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do with this music shit.
Yeah.
We have a dream that we're working towards, and well, I have a dream that I'm working towards, and I want to fucking make that shit manifest. And I'm really big on trying to like actually manifest shit this time around.
Yeah, one thing I do like to push on to everybody that I interview is not even push on to them, but just let them know is like, it's not about just, like when you chase things for the money, it's like, but at least when you have a passion for something, like truly have a passion for something, you can hone it in like a craft, like wrestling, like boxing. You treat it like a sport. You treat it like something that's near and dear to your heart. So if you had one thing to say to somebody that was, maybe your age and had like not your age, but let's say, 18, 19 years old, and they wanted to get into music, what would be your number one thing you would tell them? First thing you would tell them?
Invest in yourself. I would say invest in yourself.
And just investing in money in themselves,
Yeah.
time,
All of it.
all of it. Invest
In yourself.
all of it in
Whatever
yourself.
it is. Invest in yourself. You know, a lot of people are, too busy trying to do other shit, and like it's not easy to make whatever it is you're doing happen without investing in yourself. Whether it's fucking you buying fucking a paintbrush and shit that you need for that canvas.
Yeah.
Or that lawnmower for that lawn again.
Yeah.
It's you gotta put in that time, and you gotta work hard.
Keep grinding, stay motivated, and stay humble.
Yep, that's the way to live.
Okay. So we got the Westside with Love. I know that you re-released the Hallucination Tape.
Yep.
And you got some music videos on the way. Where can the people find you on your social medias?
You can find me at Mesa the Crook at on Instagram. You can find me on Crooked Mesa on TikTok. And that's primarily where I'm at. And then Crooked Mesa also on Twitter.
And what are some of the music videos you got coming out next? People to look out for?
Straight Like That. It'll be released on YouTube, of course. We're gonna be having links, and I'm probably gonna be like doing some stuff to, get that out there with the marketing team and shit.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And,
Riot for Peace.
Yep, R4P. We're gonna be running it up. We have AC coming up, man. We got a lot of artists that are working to come up and make a name for themselves, and it's not just a fucking name of a group. It's a lifestyle, and it's a movement, and we're hoping to change the world with our music and fashion. So that's what we do it for.
Follow Riot for Peace. Follow Mesa the Crook on Instagram.
Yep.
And follow Riot World Podcast on all platforms. Stay on the lookout. We got more interviews on the way.
Yep.
Go follow our boy.
Yep.
AZ Juice Life.
Yep. And make sure y'all really keep an eye out for that EP, man. Be dropping it on all streaming platforms. Make sure you let
You
your
got a
mamas,
date for that?
mamas know. I don't have a date yet. Again, I'm still working on the cover art. The cover art's gonna be coming in.
Yeah.
And once I got that done, we'll have a release date. And essentially, we're gonna be pushing that motherfucker harder than on a Saturday night. So we're gonna
What?
be in that bitch, and
Oh my God! Obviously, this isn't gonna be the last time we have you on the podcast. Eventually, I'm gonna let everybody know that eventually I want to have a show going on. Where we have multiple characters up in here. And hey, quiet on the set. Quiet on the set. I want to have more. I'm joking. You good. No. Hey, but we want to have multiple characters on here. We want to have a lot of people to be able to kick the shit and have a weekly show. We're going to get y'all introduced to all of us on the team. And we're going to just start doing something great out here, man. This is our very first episode.
very first, man, and then it won't be the last, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
Tell your mama's mama.
Mama, yeah, I heard you the first time. Riot World Podcast. Mesa the Crook.
Yep.
Ghost.